Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, I've had to come on here and do a bit of a correction to a video I did. I think it was yesterday now. The video in question is Salman Sheikh Mohammed Turki Prince announcing a card with Crawford and this cat here, Israil Madrimov. Listen, what can I say? Hey, this dude ain't no punk, that's for sure. In yesterday's video, I mean, you man know me, yeah. I'm a casual, and I ain't know nothing. Israil Box Rec. I ain't know nothing about nothing. So all I did was come on Box Rec and looked up Israil Madrimov, whatever his name is. I mean, look at his record here. We don't know any of these guys, that's for sure. That said though, this dude here, this is the fight I watched. Magomed Kurbanov. Hey man, this guy's solid. This Israel guy, he looks strong. He looks, actually, not only in his face does he look similar to Triple G, the way he boxes as well. He looks heavy-handed, he looks strong. He doesn't necessarily have the head movement. That's why I wouldn't say he's like Canelo, but he doesn't have the head movement so much. But he's strong, man. He's that typical... Again, watch that guy here. Watch this fight here. Where is it? Here it is. Watch these highlights at least, or maybe the full fight. Israil Madrimov versus Magomed Kurbanov. Hey, man, he's strong. This dude here, he's strong. Again, he like Triple G. He looks similar in the face. He fights similar. Heavy-handed. And I got to change it up, man. This is actually, I believe... Obviously, last year... Errol Spence was Terence Crawford's biggest test. He passed that with flying colours. But this now, for me, knowing what we know now about the Errol Spence fight, and it wasn't no test, on paper, I'm telling you that this dude here, Israil Madrimov, he's going to be Crawford's hardest test. Crawford's going up in weight. This dude's chin looks solid. His power looks solid. His boxing fundamentals are solid. He's not leaky. He's strong. But still, I got to back Crawford to smoke him. Now, a few weeks ago, I want Crawford to fight Canelo, yeah? I want Crawford to fight Carrot Top. But I was saying a month or 2 months ago that I want to see Crawford build up through the weights and fight people who have a similar style to Canelo so we can kind of get a gauge for how good he is. If that makes sense. Or how well Crawford's going to do against Canelo. And in reality... Seeing Israil Madrimov now, I gotta say this is perfect. Yeah? Crawford needs to pass this test. This guy ain't better than Canelo, that's for sure. I don't believe. Yeah, this guy, I'm not even sure he's as... I mean, look, he's beating dudes up though. This cat here, Magomed, he wasn't no punk. Yeah, he wasn't no punk. I mean, you can't punch it. You can't punch for a lick apart look of things. Look. Split decision, unanimous. You can't punch a lick here, but he ain't a bum. And Madrimov punched the living daylights out of him, made him essentially quit. He didn't want no more. He didn't want nothing to do with it. So Israil Madrimov is hard. Am I worried? I'm not worried, but this is one of them. It's a serious fight, people. There's nothing to be laughed at. I'm going to look at the odds now as well. Crawford versus Madrimov odds checker. This will tell us a lot about... I'd like to think it... I mean... Crawford's probably going to be the favourite. If he's not, I'm putting coin on. You best believe it. Oh, wow. This is sad. Oh, this is sad, people. I don't know, man. So Crawford's a massive favourite here. You put a tenner. Listen to this, yeah? You put a tenner on Crawford. You get £11.70 back. That is ridiculous. Now, I love Crawford, yeah, but I would never put money on this, based on what I've seen of Madrimov. I expect Crawford to win, but it's a bit like last week with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Yeah? I thought Devin Haney would win. I wanted Ryan Garcia to win. But the odds were, you put a tenner on Haney and you get £11 something back if you win. So you make £1.20, £1.50 profit for backing Haney. And I said to you, I don't care how much it makes sense for Devin Haney to win. I would never put money on Devin Haney to beat Ryan Garcia at a tenner down, and a tenner down you get £11.50 back. Who you going to do that? It makes no sense. And this for me is another one of them. Yeah, Crawford's going up in weight again. Now Crawford said he was drained at 150, 147. I mean, in the build up to that fight, people were doing videos saying Crawford's more drained than spent. So Crawford himself said, I want to go up. I need to be eating more and drinking more. So that should benefit Crawford. But I think Crawford's like 5'8", 5'9". Let's see how tall Madrimov is. Madrimov's 5'8", so they're going to be the same height. But Madrimov, let's have a look at him again. Look at Madrimov's, his back and whatnot. They're like, honestly, he looks just like Triple G from the back. And the front, all the different angles. Look, you see that back there? Look at this back here. Do you know what I mean? It's a thick back. Same as Canelo, really. Canelo, Triple G, Madrimov. It's not a bodybuilder back, but bear in mind these guys are 154 pounds and they're boxers, they're not weightlifters. This dude's back does it mean anything in boxing? No. Yeah? Floyd went in there and boxed a young Canelo's head off. So the big muscles don't mean nothing, but here, the point I'm making is, as you go up weights, yeah, the guys are obviously bigger and they're stronger. It's a bit like when Triple G fought Kell Brook. Kell Brook's a strong guy for 147. Kell Brook, in fact, was a massive 147 who had to drain himself down and could have been seen as a 154 guy. Right? Kell Brook goes up to 160 and he had a good go, but Triple G just walked straight through him and said, listen, there's weight classes and it's just not that kind of thing. And this will be Crawford's 135, 140, 147, 154. So he's now gone up how many pounds? 54, so about 19 pounds has gone up. Now Canelo started at 154, I believe. No, I think that's a lie. I think he may have started in Mexico at 147, but it's certainly, let's call it 154. So 154 to 168, or 154 to 175 is 21 pounds. And that proved to be too much for Canelo. Although he beat Kovalev, but Kovalev was outboxing Canelo, to be quite frank, until the knockout. And then obviously Bivol came along. But the point I'm making is, it seems to be around the 20 pound mark, that's when size starts to matter. Yeah? When you've gone from your smallest weight possible and you put 20 pounds on top, that's when weight starts mattering. Now, is Madrimov as good as Bivol, or is he a pound for pound guy? We're going to find out in this fight for sure. But the size of this guy, and he's solid. He ain't just a floppy 154 champion. He's tight. Again, think of Triple G. That's what I see here. I see like a Triple G type cat, literally. Is he Triple G? No. But he's only had 10 fights. He hasn't had the fights or the amount of fights yet that we can really comment on how great he is. But the fact of the matter is, he's just had a world title fight against an undefeated fighter and he beat the brakes off him. Big shots, heavy shots. His feet are slow though. His feet aren't even as quick as Avanesian's. Avanesian was dotting in and out like a knockoff Mike Tyson almost. And that Crawford is in there in the pocket. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So, again, I back Crawford to win this fight. The bookies have him a huge favourite. But, listen. The amount of money you'd have to put on to make anything. If you put 100 quid on, you get what? What was it? £17, is it? No, £11. You put 100 quid on, you get about £11 back. Who's going to want to do that? Do you know what I mean? You put £1 on, you get 17. You put £100 on, you get £11 back. You put £1,000 on, you get like 110. Said no one ever. So I like Crawford. I expect him to win, as do the odds, but there's no value here in backing Crawford on this one. This could easily be a case where he's just too big, based on what I've seen. But I don't expect it. Like I said, Madrimov's feet are too slow and Crawford's too good. But this is exactly the test I want to see right now. And if, God forbid, if Crawford knocked this guy out, Carrot Top in trouble. I'm calling it now. If Crawford knocked this guy out, Carrot Top is in big, big trouble. This is the fight I'm going to call it on. Because at 160, I mean, it's great, really, that Sheikh Salman, Prince Turkey Sheikh, is in the mix now. Because I said a while ago, I want Crawford to get in there with Triple G. Yeah, Triple G had 3 close fights with Canelo. or Triple G was never completely outgunned by Canelo. He never looked silly against Canelo, so that's a great tester. It's not quite, or Triple G's older, so he's not quite as primo as Canelo, but it's a great test. But Triple G's going to be a 160 pounder. My point, if Crawford smokes Madrimov, Turkey has the coin, to say to Triple G, who's got the big name, that'd be a massive fight. Alright, Crawford has knocked out Madrimov. Hey, Triple G, come and avenge your second cousin, Madrimov. Crawford versus Triple G. And then if Crawford goes in there and smokes Triple G ass, and for that fight at 160, he could do that at a catchweight. Let's say Triple G wants to come in a little heavier because he's older now, 163 or whatever. That's perfect if you're looking at fighting Canelo at 168, right? Why not? You've just smoked Madrimov at 154. Let's now take out Triple G at 162, 63, and then we're going for cap top. That's the kind of the step up that makes sense to me. Because who's knocking around at 160 now? I can't even tell you. I think Andre's still there. Like he a bum. He no good. Andre no good like that. Andre certainly isn't no good as a preparation fight for Canelo. If you can school people like Madrimov, Triple G, then it follows Cat Top in trouble. Fighting someone like Andre at 160, that ain't going to do nothing for a Canelo fight. It'll be a political fight, same as Boots really. If Crawford go in there and school Boots, it does nothing setting up for a Canelo fight. And that's what Crawford wants. Crawford wants the pinnacle of greatness. And the pinnacle of greatness right now is smoking Carrot Top. Going from 135 to 168 and taking that Orange Donny out. Which I think he can do. But this is a test, people. These odds, I'm sorry, they're fake odds. Yeah? These odds ain't real from what I've seen. This don't do Madrimov justice. These odds tell me this guy's a bum. Essentially. Yeah? That not fair. If I saw these odds, and Crawford was like a 1-to-1, this should be really a 50-50, to be honest with you. Maybe I don't know boxing, but it reminds me in a way of the one time I made money, which was like 10 years ago. The one time I made money on an underdog was Bivol. I bet Bivol to beat Canelo on points. And the odds for a points win for Bivol, it was like 8-to-1. I put 50 quid on, got about 400 back. But Bivol just to win. Bivol to win was like, I think 3 or 4-to-1. So, this could be that same kind of shtick here. Just because no one knew Bivol, the odds were crap. But if you can watch a bit of boxing, and I'm not saying I'm a hardcore fan, I'm not saying I know a lot about boxing yet, but if you can watch Madrimov, you'll know this ain't a 5-to-1 fight. Yeah? For example, another good example. Terence Crawford versus, at this point in time, I was a Crawford hater. Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter. Same thing here. Sean Porter was a 4-to-1 favourite. 4-to-1 underdog, sorry. Yeah? I put money on Porter. Just big hating on Crawford. My point? No one can tell me that Sean Porter is as favourite, or was as favourite, to beat Crawford as Madrimov. It's ridiculous to think that. Madrimov's massive. He's massive and he ain't playing like that. His chin looks solid. He hasn't been tested so much, but he looks like Triple G. He's not a punk. A solid, up and down European Donny. Do you understand? That literal Triple G stick he's pulling. He ain't no punk. This is not a 5-to-1 fight, and unless you got money to burn, there's absolutely no value backing Crawford on this one. These odds are out of whack, in my opinion. But last night I hadn't even looked at Madrimov. I just thought he was a bum. By these odds, he must be a bum. Now I've watched him. This for me is probably, is it as much as Fury and Usyk? Maybe not, but it's up there in terms of intrigue for me. Because there should be no way really Crawford can just batter this guy and knock him out. I think this fight probably go points. I think Madrimov is solid. But if Crawford knocks him out, it's almost unthinkable. Let's have a look at the odds for a knockout. Well, there's no knockout odds yet, but we'll keep an eye on that. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%, no doubt.